Hello and welcome to this week's video unboxing. This week we're going to take a look at a Dragon kit, and we're going to take a look at the Dragon 7.5cm Pack 40-40 RSO mit Alt Verdeck. Basically means it's an RSO with a canvas cover on top. Originally released in 2014, this is just a rebox with additional parts of a kit released in 2010. So let's have a look at what's in the box. The conventional Dragon lift top box containing a set of instructions. 1, 2, 3, 4 bags of components, a hero part, a bag containing photo etch and decals, and another bag consisting of track links. Let's take a look at the plastic, shall we? Okay, here we have sprue A, B and C. They're all combined together on one sprue. Sprue A consists of the sides of the chassis, the chassis separating members, small component fittings for the chassis, the bow plates, the exhaust, and a couple of end pieces for the dry sprockets. Sprue B, of which there are 2 sprue Bs separately in the box. They have the wheels, drive sprockets, idlers, the mounts, seats, suspension bogies and swing arm bogies. Sprue C consists of a gearbox. Again, moulded in grey styrene, crisply done. No visible ejector pin marks on external faces. Very nice. And here we have sprue D, single sprue consisting of the rear cargo area, the driver's cab, side walls, back walls, the mounts for the supports for the sides of the side walls, seats and other small fittings. Again, no flash present, knockout marks on a couple of the surfaces, but well rendered. Here we have sprue E and F, again gated together. Sprue E consists of the engine and the engine components. Nicely moulded, no flash present, well detailed. Here we have sprue F. Sprue F is the rear mounting point for the Pack 40 gun in the cargo area. Has various components, again well detailed, crisply detailed, no flash present whatsoever. Here we have sprue H. Sprue H also has a rear bed. I think this one's the option where you can have the underfloor stowage open to display shells. Again, different cab, which indicates that the earlier sprues are also part of the earlier releases. Again, different idler and dry sprocket mounts, and the seats that are unique to this cab version. Again, crisply moulded, no visible ejector pin marks. Very nice. Here we have a very small sprue, sprue G. I think this contains component parts for the cab. That looks like a brake and clutch mechanism. I think those are steering levers, and that looks like a brake or gear shifter mount. Again, nicely moulded, very finely moulded. A couple of large ejector or mold pins to be removed, but neat. Here we have sprue B. This sprue B is part of the Pack 40 cannon. On this sprue you will find the gun cradle, the assembly for the cradle mounts, the gun barrel, a one-piece moulding but with a separate rear part, the breech, all the levers, knobs, handles, and a choice of muzzle brakes You have a choice of 3 depending on what version of the pack you're building. Again, crisply moulded, no flash present on this kit, but lots of knockout ejectors to remove. Nicely done. Here we have the Pack 40 Sprue D, which consists of the front and rear armour panels. Again, nicely moulded, no flash. A couple of ejector pins in the inside, but again they will not be visible. Crisply detailed. Here we have the Pack 40 Sprue C. This contains various ammunition rounds, various ammunition tubes, and a couple of crates. There's also some spent rounds. The tubular round stowage are slide moulded, so you can actually leave the caps open so you can see down inside them. Again, some knockout pins to be removed, but crisply moulded, crisply detailed. Now we'll move on to the hero parts. Here we have the lower chassis tub, one piece moulding, a couple of larger sprue gates to be removed, but crisply detailed, crisply rendered. Here we have the cab front. Again, one piece moulding, no ejector pin marks on visible faces, a couple of sprue gates to be removed, neatly moulded. Here we have the overall cover, a one piece moulding, no sprue gates to be removed, nicely rendered, some nice full detail in that. Very neatly done. And finally we have a bag of individual track links. Crisply moulded on both sides, but there does appear to be an ejector pin or knockout mark on between the two teeth. They are not workable. They will need to be glued together and positioned accordingly. But the fit seems to be reasonably good. I'm not counting each individual link. But there you have it, bag of links. Other options for links are available. And also in the box are 2 very small photo etch frets. This one, I think, contains the options for the crew compartment hatches. There's some tie downs, some locks, and a few other bits which I can't identify. And here we have the Pack 40 sprue, or brass, consisting of the splinter plate, some tie downs, side vision block armour panels, and I think these might be shell ends for the ammunition supplied. Again, nicely etched. So let's take a look at the last part. Also in the bag, by the way, as a little clear bag containing 2 small tiny pieces of folded metal. I think they may be the grab handles for those aforementioned brass panels. And lastly we have the decal sheet, printed in Italy by Cartograph, all on register. You have a couple of different vehicle marking options and some license plates, and you get to make your own license plates up. Okay, let's see how she goes together. As always, Dragon's instructions are printed in giant sheets of paper. Page 1 has a view of the kit box art and a parts layout. All the parts marked in blue are not for use on this particular model. At the top of page 1 are the usual caution warning before assembly instructions, the pictograms, and the color callouts for paints in the Mr. Aqueous Hobby Colour, Mr. Colour, and the old ill-fated Model Master Colour range of paints. Stage 1 has you build, paint and decal up the anti-tank rounds for the gun. Section 2 has you build the engine and the transmission. Stage 3 has you attach the transmission. Stage 4 has you assemble the drive sprockets, idler gear and running wheels. Stage 5 has you build the lower chassis tub, add the engine and transmission and fit some of the internal fittings and the exhaust to the chassis tub. Stage 6 has you attach the lower unit to the chassis, attach the drive sprockets and the front power plate. Stage 8 has you assemble the crew cab. Stage 9 gives you the option of having the hatches open or closed, and the option of using the photo etched brass parts or the plastic parts that are also supplied in the kit. Stage 10 has you build up the rear crew compartment. Stage 11 has you assemble the front chassis and the weapons carriage platform to the chassis. Stage 12 has you build the choice of muzzles and assemble the gun barrel. Stage 13 as you add the breech block, you can have a choice of open or closed breeches. And stage 14 has you assemble the gun cradle. Stage 15 has you build the elevating mechanism and the associated pistons and elevating and rotation gears. Stage 16 has you build the front armour plates for the cannon. Stage 17 has you attach the cannon to the front armour plates. Step 18 has you assemble the tracks and fit them to the vehicle. Step 19 has you build the cruciform mount for the cannon in the back of the vehicle. Step 21 has you assemble the cruciform onto the rear panel, and it gives you the option to have the gun in the secured position or in the unsecured position. Step 22 has you attach the overall cover to the vehicle. And finally, you have the painting. You can choose an overall grey, an overall sand, a 3-tone camouflage and another overall grey version. Well, that wraps up the Dragon RSO with Pack 40. An interesting little kit. I have a few of these in the stash, various versions. Thanks for watching. Take care and catch you all later. Bye.